Hello, humans of the world. You are now tuned into Relayshons Podcast, where me and a new co-host just like you discuss our relations with ourselves, with each other, and our experiences. Are we ready to break the cycles? You know, the ones that live within our learned behaviors. Have you noticed the decisions you make subconsciously? The ones that lead you right back to where you started? Let's take on the healing journey together. Get on this PJ of unconventional conversations and let's travel all the way through our lineage. Then let's break the cycles link by link. Ready? Let's do this. Hello. Welcome to Relayshons. Hello, humans of the world. We are here again for another amazing episode. I want to thank you for liking, for commenting, for listening, for just supporting me and being your best selves. I truly appreciate it. So today we don't have a VIP guest. Today it's just me. The reason why it's just me is because today is March 17th, 2020, and we are currently on our second official day of quarantine in the world due to the COVID-19 virus. And so I thought it was a perfect opportunity for me to just come and talk to you guys directly about something that we're all facing right now, which is being in the state of solitude and loneliness for some. And so let's get right into it. Being alone in solitude, specifically not by choice, stirs up some things deep within that are usually dormant when you are racing against time in a normal routine lifestyle. Actually, most of us stay busy to avoid a lot of these things. Eek. So when we sit for a long period of time alone, here comes all the thoughts, the fears, questions, insecurities, trauma, pain, all these things that live deep within our subconscious. And they start to creep back up and it feels uncontrollable. You feel like you're losing it. It's basically the equation of cabin fever plus overthinking. A freaked out human is what you get. So the good news is there is ways to cope, and the only way is through. So I wanted to share my first time experiencing a long period of solitude. So sadly, this is not my first time where I am in a space for a long period of time by myself with a lot of time to think. On June 26th, 2012, I flew a one-way flight to California. My mom came with me for just to kind of set me up. And I remember after she left, I put her in a taxi and I was walking back to my apartment and I walked in and I was just like, oh my God, what did I do? And I was a million miles away from family, friends, any place I've ever been in. I didn't know anyone there. And I just felt a very extreme force of panic. I panicked. And I remember as I walked through that process, there were many things that would stir up. There were fears every morning. So every morning I would wake up and I would forget where I was. So I would have to kind of set these like mantras in the morning where I had to like talk myself through it and tell myself, okay, Melissa, you're currently in California because you made the decision to move here. No one made you do it. Nothing bad is happening to you. You're safe. You're good. Okay, now start your day. It was a very, very intense time. And then when you're alone, right, all these things start stirring up. So I started getting anxiety every time I went outside. I don't know what it was, but like every time I stepped outside, I just felt so small. Maybe because I didn't know anyone and I didn't know anything and I was lost all the time. So I would get anxiety. And then when I would come back home, sometimes I would get panic attacks. And I used to get panic attacks when I was younger, but they kind of came right back up during this time. I remember the first time I got sick and I was by myself and I'm just like, oh my God, what do I do? Do I take myself to the emergency room? What do I, like, it was like panic. So I remember taking an Uber to the emergency room because I didn't know how else to get there. I would feel like the four walls, they were like almost like caving in me sometimes. I remember when I started running out of money because I couldn't find a job, and I had a good savings when I got there, but it started to dwindle, of course. And I remember just getting PB&Js and just bread, peanut butter, jelly, and I would literally live off of that for a long period of time. And so what happens in these times, after several weeks, even sometimes months of this process, you kind of just need to start to find ways to gain your composure, right? Like, it's human instinct to want to have control, especially when you feel out of control. So some of the things I started doing was writing. Writing was super therapeutic for me. I've always been a writer. I used to write when I was a kid. And throughout life, you just start to figure out other things that you're creative with. And so kind of writing became like a backseat thing for me. But during this time, I wrote a lot. I wrote everything that I was thinking. I would write little mantras to myself. I would start praying out loud, talking out loud. I would do grounding methods, which is something like a friend told me about, but basically going to grounding spaces like close to nature. So parks, near water, near trees, things like that are very grounding. So I would take walks. I would try to do that every day to like kind of keep myself going. So I would definitely, for anyone who needs some grounding and some like, whenever you start to feel anxious, this is like a really good technique. I would sip tea and soothe myself. So tea is always something I've loved. And I grew up drinking tea. And at night, it would just calm me. So I would look for calming teas. There's lots of them out there. Chamomile is a very popular one, but there's tons of teas that help soothe. Also aromatherapy. So like this candle that I have lit right here. Lighting candles, some aromatherapy is really important. And then I started to notice that as time went on, my creativity was just trying to burst out of me. And this is where kind of this whole social media and me being a social media person started to come out. But I started writing these mantras that became rosarioisms, and I would basically write them and I would post them every morning, and it would be for me, but I would share with others. So sometimes you don't realize your creativity comes through the most when you're just trying to serve yourself, and in that process you're serving others. So that's really important to keep in mind during this time. But you couldn't deny the loneliness. Like, sometimes I will feel really, really alone, and I really struggled with feeling emotion, even still now. So sometimes I didn't want to cry. So I would just try to distract myself. And I would find myself going out, and then I would cry outside, which I don't know, but felt a little bit better than like being home crying. But that feeling of loneliness, of like detachment, is a very real thing. So right now, if you're feeling detached, these are some things that you can kind of start doing. I think routines are really important. So if you're not currently working, and you don't have to get up at a certain time every morning, I would suggest to set your alarm still and wake up at a certain time. And take a shower. Showers are really, really, really vital to like boosting your like movement and getting your mind kind of going. So to me, it's very refreshing to just take a shower and start a new fresh day. And then just, start to like set things that you would want to do every day. Okay, I'm going to make coffee or tea in the morning. I'm going to drink my vitamins at a certain amount of time. Maybe you could do some home workouts. Home workouts are super good. I remember one of the best times where I lost the biggest amount of weight was when I started doing my home workouts, and I would do the videos. It would just be a regular DVD from Shakeology. So for those who follow 21 Days Staying Fit, it's really good. And now they have like streaming ones that you can kind of stream online. So they're pretty cool. And so I would start like working out at home. I had my yoga mat. I had some weights that I purchased. And I would go to work. And it was, amazing 30 to 45 minutes every day. And that would be a good refresher. Maybe just going out and taking a walk. House duties, cleaning. Right now is like the best time to start like cleaning things up, reorganizing. And then also try to listen to your body. Like, I know yesterday, for instance, out of nowhere, I felt like I needed a nap, and I was in the middle of work and I had something that I had to do. But I paused it and I said, my body wants to sleep right now. So I took a nap for an hour, and it was great and very refreshing. So that's really important. nourishment, drinking lots of water. I know for me, I don't know if other people suffer from this, but when I'm home, I kind of always forget to drink like liquids. When I'm up and about, I kind of always feel thirsty, but when I'm home, I don't know, I just forget. So what I try to do is I keep a water bottle by my bed, and then another water bottle by like my couch or wherever I usually sit. That way, like it reminds me to like look at it and then I'll drink water. So that's like important. And then just don't forget to have fun, like sing, dance, like bring joy, right? I know that this is traumatic times and I know everyone's freaking out and the news is like what everyone wants to tap into, but tap out of that for a second and just tap into you. If you are a music person and you just want to listen to some good music and dance by yourself, sing, just don't forget to like laugh because we're still alive. Like we're not dead. So let's not, take this quarantine as like, oh, we're just laying down and forgetting about life. Like that's not how that goes. Watching comedy. So like I like to watch like different comedies because I've probably watched a million times. But I just like to laugh and induce that laughter with something on TV. There's a lot of Netflix series to binge off of. So, if you want to do that, that's really important as well. But I came out of this experience stronger. I think one thing I want to really reiterate from what I've already experienced in my own separate quarantine outside of this, I felt stronger. I felt humbled, grateful, the most confident I ever felt. Understanding that the bravest things that can happen when you are in the extreme fear, knowing that I can be my own best friend. Like I really started liking myself. I liked going to dinner with myself. I liked going to watch movies by myself. All these things that I thought were social things to do with other people, I started to enjoy to do it alone. And I think sometimes it's scary to try it, but once you do, it's so rewarding. So feeling highly connected to the universe and spirituality is super important. But if you're religious and that's what you touch on, by all means, please do that. But if you are not the most religious person and you want to tap into other things, my spiritual connection saved my life, you guys. It saved my life. And I know sometimes I probably looked crazy because I was walking down the street talking to the air, and just talking to the universe, talking to my guides, talking to my angels, just asking for strength, asking for hope, asking for faith, and helping me push me along. That was super important. And I started to see miracles happen right in front of me. When you are still enough and when you are quiet enough, you literally won't even imagine the things that you can notice. The world is speaking to you, like things around you are speaking to you if you are just still enough and quiet enough to catch it. So your angels, your guides, they're all trying to help you. So, just really be mindful of that. Try to take some quiet time. I know not everyone is like into the meditation thing, and if you're not, that's fine. Even sitting in silence, just absorbing your space is valuable. So you can start with that. A couple of things I wanted to share in regards to the miracles that happened to me when I was going through these rough times. So one time I had a check. I remember I had like my last $20 or something like that because I had just finished paying some bills and I was working at this time, but was low on cash and I wasn't getting paid really well. And so I got a check in the mail from Sally Mae. You guys, Sally Mae takes your money. They never give you money. They definitely gave me $300 claiming that I overpaid my student loans, which I don't remember overpaying because I wasn't even paying at the time because I had no money to pay them. But listen, a miracle. I remember one time I had money, like it was like $145 or something like that. I remember it still to this day because it was so like impactful. But it was like $135 and it was like direct deposit into my account. And I was like, what the hell? Like, where does this money come from? I didn't deposit a check. And for days I was telling my mom, like, Mom, I don't understand. Like, I got this money in my bank account. Like, should I report it? You don't want to report it. Like, you need it, right? So I was like sitting with it. My morals were in question. I was like, should I not? Should I call Chase? Like, what do I do? And, a couple of days later, my mom was like, wait, Melissa, how much was the money that you saw on your check? Because I'm missing a check that I deposited. And I was like, it's $145. And she was like, Melissa, that was my money. My mom deposited a check into her account, and somehow, some way, it landed in my account. You guys, my mom didn't have my bank account number. She wouldn't know our name. Our bank account numbers are very much different. We don't even have the same last name. And yeah, it was deposited into my account and I really needed it. So to me, that was like a sign from the universe. Remember the bus driver that used to wait for me every morning. And one day I was running really late and I was like running down the street. And when I got to the front door, I'm like huffing and puffing. And he's like, "Why are you running, miss?" And I was like, "Because I thought you were going to leave me." And he was like, "You get on this bus every day and I wait for you. I don't move this bus until you get on it." And I was just like, like, I was just so touched. And, he was just so sweet, like, for him to do that. And for just people are placed into your life in accordance to guide you and to help you. And you don't even notice it. So I was super grateful for that. I remember this man that shared his pizza with me. I went to this amazing pizza place in San Francisco. I love this pizza place. And you only get the pizza pie. You can't really order a slice of pizza. So I got a pizza pie and this guy was there reading a book and he orders a pie and then he looks at me and he's like, "Miss, I kind of wanted that pizza too, but I kind of wanted the one I got too. Would you mind sharing with me?" And I was like, "No, we could share." And we ended up sharing, talking. He was like a professor at what is it, the big University of Los Angeles, UCLA. He was a professor there, and he was like telling me that every once a month he like has this day where his wife and his kids just let him like go out, and he'll go to like a restaurant, he has lunch, he reads his book, and this is like his thing. And we shared a piece, had a great conversation. And then after that, he introduced me to this ice cream shop that's really popular also in San Francisco that was like across the street. And we went there, had ice cream. And then he's like, "Oh, okay, well, wish you all the best, bye." And like those moments were so important to me and so vital. And then I remember right after my brother passed away, like I had to go back to work and I just would have moments that I just couldn't hold back my tears. And my coworker caught me one day and he came to me. He's like, "Well, Melissa, there's a room in the back corner and I'll leave it unlocked for you. Whenever you need to just cry, just go there." And let me tell you guys, when he told me that, I was in that room often. Because now I knew I had a place to go. And he never asked me any questions, never, looked at me any differently. He just wanted to give me a space for me to, release. And that was amazing. I really appreciated that. So just those are just like a few things that I wanted to share with you that I experienced that were really vital to my health and my environment. So take advantage of your social media. This is was created to do for us to be connected when we can't physically be connected. So whether it's audio memos, FaceTime accessibilities, like I even started dating via FaceTime, like your life still has to go on and it's okay to utilize what we got. Like the good news is that we're prepared. We're prepared to handle this. Our digital expansion is very much evolved. And so we can utilize the resources that we have. Another thing, which is not like conventional to say, but masturbation. I know that some people that are lonely frown upon masturbation. Masturbation is something that you should indulge in, whether you're in a relationship or not. It's just really important for release. It's physically okay and good to connect with yourself. This is bigger than just pleasure. This is healthy. And I really encourage you, if you need to connect more with you and to build your confidence and your release, if you're not a big crier and you're not yelling and you're not, expressing any other emotion, this is a good way to like release and express what you feel. So please masturbate. What else? So for sidebar, for the people who are accompanied, if you are looking at the person that you are accompanied with a side eye and you're annoyed AF, maybe it's time to reconsider if you like the person that you're with. And I know that this is rough to even say, but this is realistic, right? I think a lot of us go into partnerships and we don't really think about what would happen and how I can go through this world and through chaos with this person. And if they're not making this chaotic experience for you the best and you're not enjoying this time with them, maybe it's time after this is done to reconsider. um, it's okay, like, to do so. You don't have to stick with that forever. So wanted to touch on that. For parents who have to entertain their kids all day, I would urge you to maybe take a nap. When they're taking naps, I know that what most parents do is when a kid takes a nap, you go and start to rush to do chores, but you have to replenish yourself. So meditation, drinking a soothing tea, CBD. Oh my gosh. So I just started taking the CBD tablets. They have oils too. I love them. Definitely want to advocate for CBD. It's really soothing. It just helps relax. It's kind of like taking a muscle relaxer a little bit. Really enjoy it a lot. So if you can get your hands on that, that's effective. Taking advantage of your resources with school lunch offers. Even if you have food at home, it's really just good to just go out and take your kid out somewhere. I know that we're probably about to be like quarantined and shut down, and the city's about to shut down, but even like going out and grabbing a school lunch or something like that for your kid is also beneficial for them to even burn some steam. So I hope those are vital for you. I wanted to share my story of what I've been through. So, that you guys know, like, there's still hope and there's still a lot that we can do to connect with ourselves during this time. I know panic is an instinctive feeling, but we don't have to get there. We can, work our way to like do different things and, utilize this time to do all the things that we always wish we could if we had enough time. So, as always, I end with my breaking cycles and how I'm healing my lineage. So I'm breaking the cycle of overthinking and letting my thoughts control me. I am guilty. I definitely overthink and I'm over analytical, and it sometimes takes control. But this is the time where I'm practicing not to allow that to happen and breaking that cycle. And I'm healing my lineage of feeling like I had to be busy to escape traumas living within my subconscious. I don't know about your family, but my family is notorious for sweeping things under the rug, talking behind people's back, but not really saying anything to their face, and not really being like healthy and dealing with traumatic experiences. They say really mean things at the wrong time. So instead of escaping whatever it is that's coming up in this time because you're alone, like, try to face it, try to write about it. Even if you have to call a friend and just chat about it, just to release it, like, this is the time to do that. Don't run from it. This is the time that really is a gift for you to really like heal and deal with that. So thank you again for listening. I wish you guys hope and faith and peace during this time. We're going to get through this. It's just going to take some time, but we got this. So make sure you stay around for the after credits. Remember, that's the best part. And I appreciate you. Be safe. Love you all. Later. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to subscribe and follow on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube at Relayshons Podcast via The Diary of MR. M as in Melissa, R as in Rosario. And now, the best part, here are the after credits, a message from my co-host. Rona is occurring to shift the subconscious to the next level. Adjust our priorities, uncover a system that was built on dishonesty and war, become more clean and aware, induce gratitude and humility back into society that got lost along the way. Sadly, things need to be broken down to be repaired, because this is the only way we sharpen up. Also, let's not forget, we have been in training for this for a long time. Social distancing is remedied by social media, Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, Spotify, group chats, etc. We are digitally evolved to handle connection with distance. So let's utilize it. And remember, eventually everything will be okay. We just have to get through it like we do with everything difficult in life. This too shall pass. Just walk through it, step by step, day by day.